Not everyone who stays in your life is there because they care about you. Some people stay because of what you provide: your time, your resources, your attention, your energy. And the most dangerous part is this: they rarely announce it. They disguise it as friendship, as loyalty, even as love. Nietzsche spent his life studying the hidden motives beneath human behavior, the quiet transactions people make without ever admitting their transactions at all. Today, we are breaking down 7 behaviors that prove someone is using you, not valuing you. Stay until the end. Sign number 6 is the one most people only recognize years too late. If reflections like this speak to you, consider subscribing. New philosophical breakdowns. Every week, they only reach out when they need something. Notice the pattern of contact. Does it move in both directions? Or does it only flow one way, toward you, and only when there's a request attached? Nietzsche's concept of the will to power suggests that people constantly, often unconsciously, position themselves to extract advantage. A person using you doesn't think of the relationship as mutual. They think of it as a resource. If the silence between you is only ever broken by a favor, a ride alone, a shoulder to cry on, and never simply because they wanted to know how you're doing, you are not being valued. You are being accessed. Your boundaries make them angry, not understanding. Watch what happens the first time you say no. A genuine friend may be disappointed, but they respect the boundary. Someone using you reacts with irritation, guilt-tripping, or sudden coldness, because your no threatens the supply they've quietly come to expect. Nietzsche believed that the truest test of a relationship's foundation is what surfaces when convenience disappears. If refusal breaks the connection was never built on you. It was built on your compliance. They mirror what you want to hear. People who are using you tend to be excellent at agreement. They rarely challenge you, rarely offer a real opinion because friction risks the access they've gained. This isn't warmth. It's strategy, even if it's not fully conscious. Nietzsche distrusted people who never resisted him intellectually, seeing agreeableness without depth as a kind of hollowness. Real connection includes disagreement. If someone always mirrors you and never meets you, ask what they're really protecting the relationship or their position inside it. They remember every favor, but forget every effort you make. Someone using you keeps an invisible ledger, but it's oddly one-sided. They'll remind you of the one time they helped you move. They won't remember the 10 times you showed up for them. Nietzsche described this instinct as part of what he called slave morality, a mindset organized around debt, grievance, and scorekeeping, rather than free and generous exchange. Watch how they talk about what they've done for you, versus how easily they minimize what you've done for them. The imbalance in memory reveals the imbalance in the relationship. They introduce you differently depending on who's watching. Pay attention to how you're presented in different rooms. Are you a real friend in private, but barely acknowledged in public? Are you close when it's convenient, but distant when there's someone more valuable in the room? Nietzsche wrote extensively about the masks people wear to manage social status. Someone using you will adjust your importance depending on the audience, because your value to them was never about connection. It was about utility, and utility is negotiable. They disappear the moment you have nothing left to give. This is the one most people miss until it's already happened. A job loss, a breakup, a financial setback. The moment you stop being useful, stop being the connector, the funder, the emotional support, the favor giver. Some people vanish almost overnight. Nietzsche believed real character reveals itself not in abundance, but in scarcity. When you have nothing left to offer and someone still stays, that is loyalty. When you have nothing left to offer and someone leaves, that was never loyalty to begin with. It was appetite. You feel drained, not nourished. After spending time with them, the final sign is the simplest and the most reliable. Real relationships leave you feeling replenished, even after hard conversations. Being used leaves a different residue, a quiet exhaustion, a vague resentment you can't quite name, a sense that you gave more than you received. Nietzsche trusted instinct as a form of knowledge. The intellect hasn't caught up to yet. If your body feels the imbalance before your mind can explain it, believe your body first. Nietzsche didn't see this kind of behavior as proof that people are evil. He saw it as proof that most people are unconscious, operating on instinct and self-interest without ever examining themselves closely enough to notice. Being used doesn't always come from malice. Often, it comes from people who have simply never been asked to give without expecting something back. But understanding these 7 behaviors gives you something valuable: the ability to see clearly and to decide deliberately who deserves your time, your energy, and your trust. If any of these 7 hit close to home, that awareness is the first step toward change. Tell me in the comments, which behavior did you recognize first? Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.